KDFL Fantasy Football Podcast. It's me, Brett Steele, and I am joined, finally back, Mr. Jonathan Detroit Haynes. How we doing, man?
Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? I know you missed me, but I'm back better than ever.
Also joining us, as always, Mr. Phil Ruxy. Phil, how's it going?
Pretty good, guys. How's it going?
Going. We have Week 10 in the books. NFL, my Falcons were on bye, so it was a nice, relaxing viewing experience for me this week. We start off in Tennessee, where the bipolar Titans take on the Colts. This team makes no sense to me. Killed my luck of the week early.
I could not help that.
Wow.
The Titans
That was amazing.
are that disgusting that Phil can't take it, can't keep it in. They get killed by the Colts 34-17. It's just not good in Tennessee. 1 week it's good, 1 week it's bad, but Tannehill's been bad now for 3 straight weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's looking like the Tannehill that we've all been accustomed to.
Pittman Pittman Jr. Looks like could be the real deal in Indy. Now that T.Y. Hilton is completely just done, washed.
Yeah, he fell off a cliff, didn't he?
He did. I don't know if it's quarterback chemistry or what, but it's just not. And you do see that, I think, with like the smaller wide receivers sometimes. And you see it with any player that kind of has a big weakness. If their skill drops a little bit, if they're not well rounded, I think the cliff happens more quickly. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's like if he loses his shiftiness versus like if a downhill like Torrey Smith loses his speed. You know what I'm saying? Like just the cliff. If you're a one-dimensional kind of type of receiver, the cliff kind of comes. Looking at the scores from this week, the Panthers get killed by the Bucks. This one was kind of easy to see. It should have been my lock of the week, but I couldn't do it. Bucks come back with a vengeance after the loss to New Orleans last the week before.
I don't know if that was that easy, though. I mean, I thought the Panthers were a little better than they played. And the Bucks haven't been looking that great this year. So
the score is closer than what it looks like, but they piled on.
I mean, the game was closer than what the score looks like.
Yes, the score looks like exactly what it is. Whatever. Now, next up, I have the Browns and Texans. This was another ugly game. The Browns was back-to-back bad weather games.
That was kind of fun to watch, though.
It was, unless you have Deshaun Watson. That's not so much fun. But, yeah.
You mean 163 yards is not a lot of
passing yards? Whatever. You can wipe it away. It's not whatever. And then we have the football team and the Lions. The Lions did their best to blow this game.
Never a doubt. Never a doubt in my
book.
Oh, this team was pathetic.
I mean, 4-5.
They were up by 21 points or something like this.
Yeah.
But you just saw it happening. You knew it was going to happen. Washington was going to come back. But luckily, Stafford, was being Stafford. And Chase Young made a stupid penalty to give him 15 extra yards there at the end. So that helped. But it is. Lions aren't that good. They're 4-5 or whatever. But they're not one of the worst teams. They're in that kind of like 10 to 15 draft slot kind of team. So
I mean, they could sneak in there. What's their next couple games? Do you know them?
I know they got Carolina.
That's a winnable game, by the way.
Yeah,
very winnable. And Swift seems to be the real deal.
They got Carolina, the Texans, and the Bears. That's their next 3.
Hey, so they could easily be.
Those are all winnable. Yeah.
Yeah. Come on, the Lions aren't winning. They will not win 2 in a row. They'll get us our hopes up, and then they'll go out here this week and lay an egg. Guarantee it.
I have a weird topic. I don't know. This is gonna seem like Lions bashing. I don't want to do it. But I was thinking about this when we talked about the Stafford toughness. And he is probably the toughest QB because he's been able to prove how tough he is so many times with so many injuries. I wonder how much – this is going to sound so negative, and I love Stafford. I do like the Lions this year especially. how many times I wonder if that toughness has been to his overall detriment because they won a game maybe they wouldn't have won, and their draft position gets better, or their draft position gets worse. You know what I'm saying? I guess it's
It
more of an
doesn't
abstract
matter.
thought.
I know what you're saying, but it's the Lions anyways, so they're going to draft terrible anyways. But I know I understand what you're saying. I think he's been a better quarterback without Calvin, to be honest.
I think so
Which
too, and I
is
think it's a lot what a lot of people are
odd.
trying to do to Baker. Say without Odell, without you having to focus on somebody or trying
Yeah.
to focus on somebody, you hit the open man more often. And Stafford's he's the number one overall pick. He's just extremely talented. Got a cannon for an arm. I mean, he makes the occasional mistake just as mostly all QBs do. I
I would love to see him in a. I mean, I hate saying that, but I'd love to see him with a different team to
yeah
see what he could do.
yeah. You know how I feel about football situations. So much of it is on the situation.
Yeah.
The Packers hold off the Jaguars. This game was way closer than it should have been. Um,
I can't
Yeah,
figure out the
way closer.
Packers. I can't figure out if they're good or they're good but not good enough. There's something off
Yeah,
with them.
I can see a first round loss, to be honest with you.
they're capable of just a massive stinker of a game every once in a while,
Yeah,
and it
like
is confusing.
I obviously think they're one of the best 4 teams in the NFC, but I don't know something about them.
Yeah, because they had everybody there, right? Jones played,
Yeah,
Adams played. But
yeah.
they didn't have
Yeah.
Mr. Lazard. Just Mega Power coming back this week, so maybe that's the call. Maybe that's the key piece.
All right, I got to move for a second, boys. The cat's driving me nuts. Keep talking.
Yeah. Giants and Eagles. This was an ugly game. I guess NFC East. I don't
Yeah,
even really focus on the NFC East.
I mean, honestly, you want to say the Giants are the worst team in the East, but I think it's a toss up, honestly. I mean, any one of those 4 teams could be the worst.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Troy, pick the worst team in the NFC East. The worst team. It's not easy.
No, it's not. I guess I'll go with the football team.
Yeah. I think I'd have to go with the football team.
Yeah.
That defense is underrated.
Yeah, they are. They're not that bad, but the quarterback situation isn't good.
All of them just kind of give you that. Yeah, I don't know.
I
Tony
like-
Romo, I don't know, Jim.
I like Gibson and I like McLaurin. I think that's how you say his name.
Yeah.
I like those two, but they really need a quarterback.
I mean, Smith he's serviceable.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, but
But he's not it. He's
yeah,
older now, too. And he's almost
I
had,
just,
what the hell?
I hate seeing him get hit though. Like, it's
I
like,
can't
Jesus,
watch
is
it.
he gonna break
I
something
try not
again?
to watch
You
him
know?
a lot. Steelers, but the Bengals, that was a brutal game all the way around for Cincinnati. Just couldn't ever get anything going. I thought they'd put up more than 10 points. Joe Burrow's rookie campaign is going about like we thought. Some strong performances, some losses, a lot more losses than wins, and stinkers of games. Okay, now that I believe. Oh yeah, because we were dead split this week because of the Masters. So you have all the 1 o'clock games on Fox, and then all the 4 o'clock games on CBS. So we start in the afternoons with a wild game: the Cardinals and the Bills. Now, would you rather lose like the Bills lost, or just never be in the game at all? I think I'd rather never be in the game.
yeah, I have to agree with that.
Yeah, I think so.
That's one of those losses that just kind of kills you on the plane ride home. You're just deflated the entire time.
Yeah, you hardly ever see those work. Just the toss up and prayer. I mean, I don't know. But a poor Bill O'Brien is just gonna get killed over and over and over. Every time Hopkins does something incredible, he's gonna catch grief for it. I did see something. There's pictures of him catching it with the Jordan gloves. I saw. I think it was Revell that put out that marketing with the Jordan, because the Jordan logo is perfectly out. when he catches the ball. That marketing is worth $2.2 million if they would go out and try to get the same exposure by paying for it. That's pretty insane.
I saw people on Twitter making comments saying like it wasn't even that really impressive. Like all he did was out jump a couple guys. I'm like, okay, that's still pretty impressive to end the game like that.
Did you? Oh, it's impressive. It's also embarrassing that they all three of the defenders jumped in unison instead of timing a little bit better, and he could out jump them.
Yeah.
His reaction to it was hilarious. He's talking about getting dunked. In basketball, you call it getting dunked on, and it was a great play by pretty good stuff. I know Deshaun Watson's probably like, oh my gosh, dude. The Raiders kill the Broncos. Drew Lock, not what I thought it was so far. I think he's playing hurt, but unless his brain's hurt, some of these decisions are terrible that he's making. So, I mean, they're going to have to get that whole situation figured out. I know he doesn't have Sutton. He's only a rookie wide receiver as a number one right now. But the Raiders' defense is not something to where you can only put up 12 points on it. So, that is a pretty bad performance. The Raiders looking good, man.
Yeah, they look all right. Obviously a playoff team, and I think I was the only one in here that predicted them in the playoffs.
I have an 8-8. Not in the playoffs. They have the Chiefs, the rematch game for the Chiefs to try to avenge that loss in Kansas City earlier in the year. This one obviously in Vegas. Will be interesting. If they hold their own, if they pull this off against the Chiefs and sweep the Chiefs, I know a couple Raiders fans are going to be pretty unbearable, and rightfully so, because that would be ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then the Seahawks. What is wrong with Russell Wilson?
I really think they miss Chris Carson.
Yeah.
I don't think he's been the same quarterback since Chris Carson's been gone.
I agree with that. I think that Russ knows he has to play almost perfect. And I think that makes him force things more than he would. There's still some bonehead decisions. That pick in the end zone was probably the worst I've seen in the week in a game that mattered. So we'll see, because that went from MVP talk to no. To another year where is he going to get an MVP vote right now? No, he's not going to get an MVP vote right now. Someone that I think is going to rise up the rank quickly for MVP right now, Kyler Murray is shooting up.
He's got to be in the top 5.
He's doing too much with his feet too.
Yeah,
I think he's had 5 straight games with a touchdown pass and touchdown run. I think that
we do. You used to do the weekly fan duel that we did with like guy I used to work with. There's like 20 of us.
Yeah.
And I've had Murray the last 2 weeks, and I've won it both weeks with him. He's just killing it.
When you have that baseline of rushing, and it's not even a baseline, it's like a legit. If a running back had his rushing stats, it would be amazing.
It reminds me of what Lamar was doing last year.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I was just saying. Is he the new Lamar this year? Seems like he is.
Yeah.
Saints and Niners, this was just an ugly game. Drew Brees goes out. The ribs bust in the dust. The lung collapses.
You're getting what you've been asking for all year.
Jameis comes in. Now he's got a stalwart defense this first week. So I wouldn't judge him on this week against this.
Already making excuses. You see this, Phil?
Yeah, I know.
I'm not making excuse. I'm plugging my team.
No. I'm back, and I'm going to question your ridiculousness. I know Phil and Matt didn't do it last week, but I'm here, and I'm calling you out.
He might play well. I don't know. I think. See, the problem is Breeze was playing a little bit better before his chest exploded.
I just can't believe I traded basically half my drafts last week to get him.
Oh, yeah, man. It's not like you to make irrational trades, is it? Crazy.
The funny thing is, though, I don't think it was half my draft. I still think I have almost my full draft left. So
you probably have your draft. Some of your draft is gone. You have some of someone else's draft. They have some of your draft. It's a big, tangled decisions. Chargers, Dolphins. The battle of Tua and Herbert. I don't know. I didn't get a lot of this game. Didn't catch a lot of this one.
I didn't either.
The Dolphins 3-0 under Tua, right?
Yeah.
Crazy.
I guess the coach knows what he was doing.
Herbert has to still be rookie of the year right now.
Yes.
I think.
Yeah, I think
2-7.
Yeah, but he's looked good.
And then finally Monday night. Monday Night
Terrible
Football,
game.
terrible game,
Terrible game.
awful. I don't really want to talk
The
about it.
Sunday night game was terrible too.
Oh yeah, I missed the Sunday night game. My sheet's out of order. Sunday night game, Patriots. Yeah, but that was fun with the rain. You need one of those every once in a while.
Yeah.
Just a horrible downpour. Lamar struggles continue. I know he caught a lot of grief for saying that he feels like the defense knows what they're going to do before they do. They're calling out their plays at the line. There's nothing more humiliating than that.
Yeah, that's true. And I don't think if you look at his stat line, it's not bad at all. But I think you're right; they're too predictable.
It was not a good loss for the Ravens, though.
No.
Against the Patriots, who aren't looking good.
We don't have to hit on Vikings and Bears. The Bears are, like I said, I think I said it in the chat, and I know I bring everything back to myself and my teams, but the Bears are the opposite of the Falcons almost in every way. An offensive coach is supposed to be an offensive genius, and the league's worst offense. So I don't think it's because he handed the play calling duties over. So a lot of this is going to be on pace, the GM as well.
Yeah.
Because somebody else is calling plays now, and it's still just as terrible. Nick Foles looks awful. And I saw it, and I put it in our Discord during the game. I said, this is pretty plain to see. Third downs, they're bringing the house every time, and it's working every time.
Yep.
So, a weird week of NFL games. It's always nice when your team's on bye because you just get to just sit back, relax. So, all right. Anything else for my weird stat for NFL? I'm just curious if you guys can guess this. There is a 7-way tie for games with QBRs below 50. These quarterbacks. Most starts with a QBR below 50. There's a 7-way tie for 4 games. That's Baker, Phillip Rivers, Nick Foles, Sam Darnold, Gardner Minshew, and Dwayne Haskins. It's also known as a 6-way tie, not a 7. Second is Drew Lock with 5. Can you guess number 1? Yes, 6.
Cam Newton.
I'm going Carson Wentz.
Correct. It is Carson Wentz. Another Brett Steele predictee gone correct. I really do. All jokes aside, I think it's Jalen Hurts could be coming.
Yeah.
Because if they weren't still in the hunt, sadly, in this joke of a division right now, you would be hearing it for a lot more for Jalen Wentz to see some reps.
And they actually have a game and a half lead.
Yeah, I mean they're not only they're in the driver's seat.
At the very least, I think Hurts is the starter week 1 next year.
Yeah, it doesn't turn out because
they got to give up on Carson. I think. I mean, he's.
I still think the division's the Cowboys to lose. I think the line's much healthier now than it was
Really?
when Dalton was in the game before. I think if they've had time for him to get all the way back, I still think the Cowboys will end up winning the division. I don't know, man. Too much talent wide receiver and running back.
Yeah, but look at quarterback though.
Yeah, but if I keep screaming it, it becomes true. That is the law.
Oh,
I don't think it does.
Yes. All right, Detroit power rankings.
Well, I think Phil said he had a text.
Oh yeah, Phil with a text to the show.
Oh yeah. All right, here we go. Let's see. This one is from Hawk in Hollywood, California. He says, longtime listener, first-time texter. He really liked the show last week, but it's not the same without Detroit. I don't know about that. He brings balance to the host, Brett's nonsense. But he said, keep up the good work, and ... Brett sucks.
Hey, you didn't have a question or anything? Just
Nice.
Detroit,
Thank you, Hulk from Hollywood.
Check Detroit's phone records. A full audit of the phone
That
records.
seems oddly like something that Detroit would say about himself.
Well, no, that's like my catchdetroit, so the fans love it. I mean,
Right.
He's not his
Okay.
autograph
Yo,
that.
yo,
He's
yo,
not
yo.
his autographs that.
Yeah.
People right HOF.
He just
Detroit.
he signs with BS. That's what he puts.
Yes.
All right, so it's time for Big Daddy's Power Rankings.
Nobody's called it that.
Oh my
Big
gosh.
Daddy D or Big D's Power Rankings?
It's not good.
I'm bleeping that out. I'm bleeping it out.
All right, fine.
I'm joking.
Okay, so I'm going to go with we haven't touched on anything. Most of my power rankings have all been like football related, except for last week's. But this week, I'm going to go I need your top 5 most overrated sports movies. So
That's tough,
this is going to be good. I know we're going to get some arguments going here,
man.
especially
Can you
with
say that
my
again?
Yeah, you're gonna.
I sneezed when you said it.
top 5 most overrated sports movies.
Sports movies. Okay.
Yes. Okay, so
Yeah.
number 5 for me, and I guess it's considered a sports movie, but it's Talladega Nights. I hated this movie. Would you guys consider this a sports movie? I mean, it is about racing.
Yeah.
NASCAR.
Okay.
Especially around your part. It's definitely a sport.
Wait, whoa. What are you trying to say
technically,
there?
You're near Daytona, Brett. So.
Yeah, you're near Daytona.
I am.
Okay, and I just thought this movie was just stupid. And I know it was probably the whole point was to just be stupid funny. I just didn't think it was one of Will Ferrell's better movies. I just hated it. I remember when this movie came out, everybody was going around saying all those catchphrases in it. I can't even remember what they were now.
There's a million catchphrases. Don't you
I know,
say evil on me, Ricky Bobby. Help me, Tom
shake it and
Cruise.
bake it. Shake it and bake it or something like that.
Shake and bake.
Shake and bake.
Shake it
That
and
was
bake
stupid.
it.
Whatever.
Okay.
It was
Loaf of-
stupid.
a
You
loaf
don't
of
even-
bread?
Shake and bake. Shake
You
and
don't even
bake.
know the movie. How are you going to call it overrated?
It was
It's
stupid.
a shuck and bake.
I want to pray to baby Jesus. That's my favorite Jesus. Anyways.
Don't you stab yourself in the
Have
leg,
you
Ricky Bobby.
seen the movie?
Don't you do it.
Yeah, it's stupid. It was so long ago, I thought it was dumb. Anyways. All right, number 4. White Men Can't Jump. This movie was horrendous. Wesley Snipes playing
Horrendous.
basketball. Did you guys see the movie? When he was
Yeah.
shooting, the guy was terrible. It was not believable at all. I mean, he's the guy that dresses up at the pickup games. He's got the whole bandana on or whatever, headband. He's all ready to play. He's that guy. And then he gets out there. He looks good, but he can't play good. So I thought that movie was terrible. Number 3 for me, and this is a lot of people's favorite movie, I thought it was boring and just too slow, and it's Field of Dreams. That movie is just slow. There's just too many dead spots in it. I like the ending. That was kind of cool. I won't go into it in case people haven't seen it. I don't want to be a spoiler
alert.
of a movie from 35 years
Talk
ago.
about that.
But another movie I hated, and that's number 2, is Any Given Sunday. I thought that movie was awful. Just the acting was terrible. Just the whole thing was just stupid. Anyways. And
Don't
the
even say
number,
number 1. Don't even say it. We don't even know it.
I'm going to say it.
Don't even do it.
The most cheesy Disney sports
It's a
movie
true story.
ever.
Oh my God.
Hardly any of it was even real or
Yes,
true.
a lot more. Okay.
And that is Remember the Titans. Cheesy. The whole thing, running through the graveyard never happened. I won't even go in. There's so many fake stats in this movie, or fake things in this movie. So
That just invalidated your entire top 5. I hate to tell you.
how? I mean, they try to based on
I
the true
would give it to you if it
story.
wasn't a true story.
But none of it was true.
A lot of it was true.
None of it
There
was.
were some liberties.
It was
The
based
school
on
had
a
been
true story.
segregated for like 10 years. They acted like it was the first year. I mean, it was just stupid. The whole movie was dumb. Cheesy. Hate it. All right. I made my list. Deal with it. Now go
Terrible.
ahead. One of you guys can make your
Bill, go ahead, buddy, if you got it.
Oh, man. I don't know if I could put together a top 5 because I don't really think a lot of sports movies are overrated. I don't know.
We don't
You've
have
never
the
watched a
negative
sports
lens.
movie and you just didn't like, it's not that good.
No, I don't have your negative lens.
If I did, I can't remember them. Oh, okay. Yeah. I got one. Okay. I'm almost done. Brad, if you're ready, you can go, but I'm almost done here. Let's just keep talking and make it look like we're actually talking about something.
Yeah.
And then,
Okay, I can talk. I mean, you know what? I talk about a movie that I almost put in my top 5,
All right.
and that was Space Jam.
It's not-
what?
Yeah, it was Michael Jordan's acting was terrible. I mean,
Wow.
greatest player of all time, greatest basketball player of all time. Just throw that in there. Not a very good actor. Looney Tunes, they were terrible.
I think I can
Okay.
do 5.
Yeah, I think I just got 5 too.
All right, I'll do number 5. Keeping with the Will Ferrell line. Blades of Glory, definitely a sports movie.
Yeah.
I
No,
didn't
that's a
like it.
great
Besides,
movie.
though, we're skating to one song and one song only. That's the only part of that movie that I like. The Natural. Uh,
Yeah,
just
that's
not
good.
I
my thing.
liked it, but yeah, it was kind of slow.
Very slow. Fever Pitch.
Oh
Oh,
God.
yeah, that's
Yes, that's
terrible.
bad.
Oh, I'm grasping at straws here. I do have White Man Jump at number 2. Number 1, Tin Cup.
Oh, I'm surprised.
I love golf. I love a lot of golf movies. Tin Cup, that scene that gets glorified in that movie of him hitting the ball over and over again
Oh yeah, it
is
was bad.
very annoying, and I hate that part of it. I hate how this would never happen. You're going to throw away the tournament so you can prove it, you're an idiot.
Right.
So, yeah, Tin Cup. That gets my thoughts.
Yeah, those are pretty good. But Brett, you don't remember in Blaze of Glory where he says, "This is what a skater's body really looks like.
I
Drink it
get
in."
that's
That's a
around
good
the
one
same
too.
time, isn't it?
It might, yeah, I think it
No,
is.
because
Like,
he's on trip. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I got you.
anyways, he's got his shirt off and his belly's out and
Yeah,
everything.
Will Ferrell.
All right, let's see. Here's my top five. Number five, I have Any Given Sunday as well. I just, I don't know. It's not even a really good football movie. Like for what it is, it's just
Yeah.
not that good.
Yeah.
I don't know. Number four, Leatherheads. That movie was like,
What
it's probably
one?
one of the worst.
Which one is
Leatherheads.
it?
Leatherheads.
Oh, I like that movie.
I don't know if I've seen that.
George
That's with
Clooney.
John Krasinski and George Clooney.
No, I haven't seen it.
Man, Renee
Oh, I thought that
Zellweger.
was not even just like sports. I feel like that's one of the worst movies of all time.
Oh, love that. Love
Number
that movie.
number three, I don't really remember much about it, so I think that's why I didn't like it. The Legend of Bagger Vance.
Oh, I like that movie.
Really?
What
I
are we
didn't know
Yeah.
doing?
that. This will get the whole league right here. Number two,
What?
pretty much the Rocky movies.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not really a boxing fan, so I like them, but they're not like
Okay,
my
I mean,
favorite.
if you want to say like Rocky Five or something, yeah, okay, but the whole franchise?
Yeah, I'm just including it all together because I don't honestly think I've seen them all. To be honest with you,
Oh my gosh, we got a Brett Jr. here. Oh no,
what did you say?
we have a Brett Jr.
Speechless.
No. At number one, Jerry Maguire. I mean, it just
I
seems like it's a
liked it.
little overacting in the movie. So
It
I
was
like it though,
cheesy.
but
It was
it's a
cheesy.
little overrated though.
I get it.
I
You
told
guys
you I
need
was going to
joy in your
struggle to
life.
find. I was going to struggle to put five together because I usually most like most sports movies.
See, I feel bad because I don't give you guys a heads up on these, so it takes a little while.
No, that's the
No, that's
fun,
all
though.
right. It looks like fun like
That's the
this
point.
where you guys are looking at me like I'm crazy. So
Nice.
All right. Are we ready for KDFL Week 9 recap
Woo!
results?
Let's do it.
All right, we're going to start it off.
Woo!
Charleston Methadones hosting the Montrose Mega Powers. The heavily favored Charleston Methadones hosting the Montrose very much restricted Mega Powers. And we start with Mr. Line himself, Marvin Jones, scoring 24. And the two-headed monster of Camara and Jacobs combined for 65 points. But it is not enough because Methadone's GM and coach Matthew Edward Smith was outcoached, outfoxed, outclassed by his Dunbar counterpart as the Montrose Mega Powers and Anthony Gibson with 23 beat the Charleston Methadones 223 to 210.
Do you believe in miracles?
I almost asked Phil to clip that in.
also, you called him Anthony Gibson, not Antonio.
Antonio Gibson. Oh, that's what we call him in the locker room. Closer to that.
Yeah,
Next
sure.
up, we have the Kanawha County Kings traveling to Elkview to take on the River Rats. Aaron Rodgers, the beloved member of the River Rats, scores 26 points. Newly acquired
Stop saying that.
Newly acquired Kareem Hunt scores 16 for the Tanking Kings. Juju Smith-Schuster comes back with 23 of his own, and the River Rats beat the Kings easily 268 to 166.
Woo!
Next, we have the Nightdale Dragons traveling to Poca to take on the Poca Pharmacist. Defensive player tops the score for the Dragons as Jamie Collins Sr. Scores 28. Stephon Diggs with the last second touchdown gets 25 for the Pharmacist, but Jamal Adams scores 22 for the Dragons, and the Dragons win 220 to 208.
By the way, I hate to interrupt you there. Did you see that clip where he, on the goal line, he just avoided trying to tackle, I can't even think of his name, but Jamal Adams?
Yeah, he's been dinged up. Was it Henderson? Or was
Yeah,
it Brown?
I think it was Brown.
I think it was Brown. Yeah.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Jamal Adams. I think it could be. I don't know. Could be just a dinged up thing. Next up, we have the Dogtown Dobermans hosting the Hurricane Wampus Cats. Kyler Murray leads the way with 30 points for the Wampus Cats, and Ben Roethlisberger scores 33 for the Dobermans. With that last second touchdown with DeAndre Hopkins, as he scores 27. We need to check that. Probably decided this game, actually. Yeah. The Wampus Cats win 226 to 213. It definitely decided this game. A 50-yard touchdown between those two. Next up, we have the Marmot Midnight Riders hosting the Roxalana Renegades. Justin Jefferson continues to impress with 22 points. Swift for the Lions, as we alluded to earlier, really starting to break out a little bit. He scores 26. And Teddy B, the dependable 20-point man, scores just enough for the Marmot Midnight Riders to beat the Roxalana Renegades 213 to 208. Now, it's redemption week for the Cross Vegas Gamblers. They're in the game of the week for the second straight time as they host the Commission's 6-3 Glasgow Gunslingers. Tom Brady leads the way for the Gamblers with 35. Some dude named Bates for the Gunslingers scores 14. And finally, Rokon Smith scores 22 for the Gamblers. It is dire times in Glasgow as the Commission loses his fourth straight game. The Gunslingers lose. Gamblers 214 to 134. And that is it for your Week 10 results. Besides misnaming my own player, that's probably the best I've done on the fly in a while. By the way, Poker Pharmacists with a score of 207 are eliminated from the KDFL Eliminator. That means this week's final in the Eliminator is between the Methadones and the Gamblers, correct? Yes.
I think so, yeah.
Your team is not good. I mean, let's be honest here. They're not good.
There it is, boys.
Is 134 the lowest score this season?
Gotta
pretty
be
close, I think.
Speaking of that, I have to give credit to our co-host last week. He commented as I watched our podcast. He said, "Man, if you look at this Gunslingers lineups, I think the Kings could have beat them this week, and they would have beat them this week." So,
good catch, yeah.
Good job, Matt, with the prediction there.
Mastradamus. Too bad he couldn't predict that Carr and Wilson would combine for 15 points.
Wow, Brett.
Shots fired.
Look, I won a game I'm not supposed to win, and my star player scored. What did he score? Watson did not have the game that I would have needed him to have in order to win. He only had 15 points. So sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, people.
It looks like you got a shot at making the playoffs, man.
Sneak into that 16 and get bounced in the first round as tradition demands.
You never know what can happen.
I got some playoff outlook now that you reminded me.
All right, yeah, let's rock it out here.
All right, so let's go to the list. The Dragons have clinched the playoff, and they can clinch a bye with a win this week.
Wonder why we started doing this research. That's interesting. Go ahead.
I did it a few weeks ago too.
Yeah, he did.
But then I forgot for like 2 weeks actually. The River Rats can clinch a playoff spot with a win and a Midnight Riders loss this week.
Woo!
The Gamblers can clinch a playoff spot with a win and a Methadones loss, and if they finish in points ahead of the Mega Powers. So that kind of has to be at the end of the season to decide that part.
There's still a matchup there with the Gamblers and the Mega Powers.
Right, yeah, so that could decide it actually.
Yeah.
The Gunslingers, somehow I figured out some magic numbers. The magic number is 3. So any combination of a Gunslingers wins or Wampus Cats losses, if that equals 3, they clinch a playoff spot. Same thing for the Wampus Cats. Their magic number is 3. Any combination of wins for them and losses for the Mega Powers and a Midnight Riders loss, they'll clinch a playoff spot. And the rest of the magic numbers were too complicated to figure out.
So jammed.
I stopped there.
I know.
At the bottom, of course, the Dobermans are eliminated. I think they were eliminated last week, actually. The Kings will be eliminated with a loss to the Midnight Riders this week. And then the Renegades will be eliminated with a loss and a Methadones win.
This week for me is a big matchup, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit. Because my last 2 games are against Phil and the Wampus Cats, who've been playing really well. So.
Oh, you played both of your 2 games in the final 3 weeks?
Yep.
Ooh, boy.
I know. So this week it's going to be big for me. I need to pull out the victory.
That's too bad. All right. Let me pull up the order for this week. Let's see here. How about let's start out with the Dogtown Dobermans 1-9, taking on the 9-1 Knightsdale Dragons.
All right. Do you want me to start?
Whoever would like.
All right. Looking at this matchup, Doberman's got Joe Burrow and Big Ben going this week as his quarterbacks because Josh Allen is on a bye, which is not a bad. Honestly, that's a nice 3 quarterbacks he's got there. Burrow's going against Washington, who's their defense is not all that bad. Big Ben is going against Jags, and they're giving up like the 6th most points to a quarterback in fantasy. Miles Sanders against the Browns at D is pretty stingy, so I'm not a big fan of that. His receivers are okay. Other than that, there's not much to talk about. For Phil, his team's pretty loaded. He's got Matt Ryan going against the Saints, and the Saints are only giving about 18 points against quarterbacks, so that's not all that bad. Derrick Henry against Baltimore's D, that's be an interesting matchup. I don't like Aaron Jones against the Colts. The Colts' defense is pretty stout, so I'm sure Jones will still get some points, but he's got to start Phillip Rivers this week. Oof, ouch. But with all that said, I just think Phil's got too many weapons, so I'm going to go with Phil this week.
All right, Phil.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Dragons as well. Like you were saying, I like Burrow and Roethlisberger. I think they have some really good matchups, so they should put up some points. I do like Miles Sanders against the Browns, though. I think he can still put up some points, but other than that, I think he's going to struggle to find some points in some other positions. I think Antonio Brown might have a pretty good game against the Rams, but like you were saying, I think I just have a little too much this week. I actually like Aaron Jones. I mean, it's going to be a tough matchup, but they may have to get him more involved than he has been recently because I feel like they have kind of cut into his production a little bit. I think he got like 13 touches. No, that was earlier. Yeah, he got about 18 touches last week, so I feel like he should get more than that. I mean, for how good he is. But like you were saying, I think I just have a little more firepower than the Dobermans, so I'm going with the Dragons.
If we were doing this based on spread, I'd probably pick the Dobermans to cover because your matchups, Phil, for your running backs are not very good except for Hilaire. They're off a bye, so hopefully they worked out a way to get him back in. I don't know who Ramsey's going to be on. I'm guessing Evans. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. Tampa's got way too many receivers. Maybe Godwin.
That's what I'm getting at. If it's Godwin, that's going to be a rough
Godwin.
day.
Yeah.
But I think it'll probably be Evans if I had to guess. I do have to go with the Dragons to get the win here. But I think it's going to be more because your defense is going to outscore the crap out of his, if I had to say. Your offense can outscore him, but I think the defense is really where you're going to pull way ahead, in my opinion. Pull ahead some, since I said I wouldn't take them in the spread. Next up, we have the Midnight Riders taking on the very sad Kanawha County Kings. You hate to see it. Take it away, Detroit.
Yeah, poor Tim. I feel bad for this guy. Nice guy, but his team, he was just in the championship last year. I believe, wasn't the championship game kind of close too?
Somewhat.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, I feel bad. He just doesn't have the playmakers. He's got Gordon, Jones, and Hunt as running backs. It's not terrible, but his receivers are not that great. You've got Midnight Riders. He's got, I guess, Bridgewater is going this week. I'm assuming he is. Going against the Lions, he should score a ton. I don't like the Midnight Riders running backs. You got throwing out Jamal Williams and Rick Burkhead out there.
Burkhead, though, he's not been terrible.
Yeah, but it's still New England. You just never know who's going to get most of the carries. It could just change from week to week. Love his receivers, Allen, Hill, and Jefferson. Those guys are money. And his defense, especially his linebackers, are pretty stout. So I don't think this one's going to be even close. So I'm taking McGee and the Midnight Riders.
All right, Phil.
Yeah, I think this is similar to the first game between the Dobermans and the Dragons. I just don't think the Kings have enough firepower to stay in this one. I guess his highest projected player is Drew Lock at 15 points, and he may not even get that. Meanwhile, on the other side, you have Teddy B and Baker. Baker's getting the Eagles. That should be a pretty good matchup. And Teddy B gets the Lions. That should be a good matchup as well. Midnight Riders, I don't like the running backs that much, but I think overall they just have more firepower. With like Tyreek Hill, he should have a pretty good game against the Raiders. So I'm going to go Midnight Riders.
The tough thing here is Cousins does get Dallas, so he should have a good day. But if he has a good day, it's going to be a lot to Jefferson, and that's the problem. That's one of the problems, I should say. You're right about the Midnight Riders running backs. Although Burkhead, like I said, ranked 22 running back on the season. Jamal Williams is the backup versus an Indy defense that's already pretty strong against the run. Yeah, it's the Midnight Riders, and it is a very similar game to what the game we just discussed. So, all right, moving on next to the Gamblers and the Renegades.
This matchup. Right now, the projections are pretty close. I like that Tom Brady's going against the Rams. The Rams are giving up the fifth most points to fantasy quarterbacks. Delvin Cook against the Cowboys defense, they're second worst against the rush, so I expect a huge game from him. Michael Thomas versus the Falcons. No offense, Brett, but the Falcons' D is not very good. I don't care who's throwing him the ball to him. I think he gets a lot of catches, maybe even if those little 5-yard routes or whatever. And then Thielen against the Cowboys too. They're pretty bad against wide receivers, so I really like those matchups for the Gamblers. For the Renegades, Stafford, he's got those torn ligaments, so I don't know what kind of Stafford we're going to get this week. It says he's questionable, but I still think he'll play. Jonathan Taylor, he hasn't been what we thought he was going to be, has he?
He's been probably the biggest disappointment rookie, him or Dobbins right now.
Yeah, he's. I definitely thought he was going to be probably the best running back, but he does have DeAndre Swift. He's getting the starting carries now, so I think we're going to see more of what we have the last couple of weeks out of him. He gets Galladay back this week against Carolina, but like I said, we don't know what kind of Stafford we're going to have. I love the Renegades linebackers. I think he has the edge there. I'm going to go with an upset. I'm going with the Renegades this week.
I hear you talking yourself into it as you do it.
I know. I did.
Phil.
I didn't want to be predictive, or we're all pick the same things.
I'm going to go Gamblers in this one. I really like Tom Brady against the Rams. I think that might be a high-scoring game, so he might put up a lot of points. Of course, Dalvin Cook gets the Cowboys, and he's averaging ridiculous numbers so far this season. Not sure about Fournette. He'll have an okay game, I think, but probably not a lot of production. And like you were saying, Michael Thomas, I feel like anybody can throw the ball to him unless it's – Jameis could be throwing it over his head by like 15 yards. We never know. See. And then Adam Thielen, he should have another good game against the Cowboys. Carson Wentz, I don't think he's going to get his projected number at 18. I think it's going to be a little lower. But I feel like the Gamblers may be the high-scoring team this week, so I'm going to go Gamblers.
I'd like to remind everybody that Michael Thomas is the 147th ranked wide receiver.
Yeah, he missed games.
He has not been good in the few games he's been back in. Just for the record. Mr. 5-yard slant.
I saw you waiting for that one, just sitting there like this.
Yeah. Because Michael Thomas. Anyway. Speaking of that, the Gamblers, if the Lions didn't have so many question marks health-wise, I would go with the Renegades here. But I have to go with the Gamblers because I don't know what we're going to get from Stafford. I don't know what we're going to get from Galladay.
Yeah, but you know what? This little tidbit. Sorry, to interrupt your
No,
little thing. Is that Darius Leonard, the linebacker for the Renegades?
yeah.
I looked up this stat. He's a tackling machine. He got hurt in one game, but he's averaging almost 16 points a game fantasy-wise in the games he's played. That's a
He's
ton.
an absolute stud. So if the Renegades are going to pull off the upset, that being said, I think it is going to have to be on the defensive side because Cook should run all over Dallas. J.D. McKissick has been a target monster out of the backfield for Washington. I don't know if Michael Thomas will do something. Our defense has played better under Raheem Morris, but who knows? You would think he'd have to be at least better than he has been. The wide receiver matchups of Detroit, Atlanta, and Dallas for the Gamblers is too much, I think. It's going to put them over the edge. So I am going Gamblers. Let's see. Next up, we have the Polka Pharmacist traveling to Glasgow. Please, somebody help. The 0-4 in the last 4 Glasgow Gunslingers. Take it away.
Yeah, the old Gunslingers. I don't think they've ever lost 4 games in a row. I'm not sure. I mean, it couldn't happen to a nicer guy. I mean, I feel bad for him. But when you make videos and mock a whole town, you know what? You kind of deserve it at times. So, anyways, looking at the Pharmacist, though, you got Cam going against Houston. I think that's actually kind of a good matchup for Cam. I do like Edmonds against Seattle. Seattle's defense is garbage. Tannehill versus the Ravens. The Ravens are only giving up about 17 points a game against the quarterbacks. So I'm not a big fan of that. And Tannehill has not been great of late. But I do like McLaurin. He should score a ton. For the Gunslingers, they are getting back some much-needed help. You got Mahomes back. He's got Julio back. I think did Atlanta play? No, they didn't play last week. So I did notice that he's having to start Zeke in his offensive position. So not going to get the extra quarterback points, but I guess Zeke will do all right against Minnesota. I don't like Robinson against Pitt, the Steelers, because the Steelers got the #1 defense against fantasy running backs, so I don't like that matchup at all. But I just think that the Gunslingers are going to finally get a W, and I think it's going to be a close game, though. So Gunslingers just barely.
Yeah, I'm going to go Gunslingers as well. I do think it's going to be close, like you were saying. I do like Chase Edmonds against the Seahawks. They pretty much can't stop anybody, it seems like. I don't like Tannehill, though, against the Ravens. That could be a problem. Cam Newton, he's got a good matchup, but I don't know. It seems like week to week, you're not really sure what to expect from him. And for the Gunslingers, they seem to mostly be back to full strength. So I think he's in good shape there. Joe Mixon should play. I think James Robinson was questionable this week as well, though, but I think he's going to play. He does have Elliott, like you're saying, in his offensive spot, but if he actually tries, he may be able to put up 20, 25 points. Somebody could go Gunslingers at a close one.
I mean, the commission's backroom dealings seem to be coming to fruition again. He's getting LJ on the week that he does not have Diggs or Robinson. And that is the reason why I have to go with the Gunslingers over the Pharmacist, because the Gunslingers are having to throw out Philip Lindsay. They're having to throw out Chase Edmonds. They're throw out Sammy Watkins.
We have a Sammy Watkins sighting.
Yeah, so it's not great. He's got getting hit with the bye week bug. Tannehill has a terrible matchup, like you alluded to. I don't see the defense being able to put him over the top as well. I don't like a lot of the Gunslingers matchups. I don't like Mixon at Washington. I don't like Robinson at Pitt. I don't like Parker at Denver. Cup at Tampa Bay. Amari Cooper has a good one in Minnesota, but see what Dalton might be. I don't like their matchups, but I do have to go with the Gunslingers to get off the snide. If they lose 5 straight,
you're going to throw a party? Is that what you just heard?
Not the things that dreams are made of. All right. So, in our pre-main event, we have the Charleston Methadones traveling the Hurricane to take on the Hurricane Wampus Cats. 5-5 Charleston Methadones, 6-4 Hurricane Wampus Cats. Detroit, take us away.
Yeah, this is actually a really good matchup. Poor Matt, man. I was looking at his team, and I know he's just mad. He's angry, but he has scored the most points in this league, and he's also had the most points scored against them. So that's tough when that happens like that. And I guess that's why he's like 5-5. So, anyways, as for this week, Russell Wilson against Arizona. That's Thursday, right?
Yeah, that's real
Or
quick.
that's tonight.
Real quick, a cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tonight, right?
Yeah.
A real quick tidbit about this game. This is pretty neat. Both teams have a stack. Russell Wilson and Tyler Lockett for the Methadones if Lockett goes. And then you have where's Lockett? Lockett maybe out. And then you have Murray and Hopkins for the Wampus Cats. So those two stacks. I don't know about Hopkins or Lockett again. I don't think we got news he's not going to go. So, but those two stacks on Thursday could be interesting.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to watch. Wilson, he's been kind of average the last couple of weeks. He wasn't even average last week, but can he get back on track? I think he actually will this week. You got Kamara against Atlanta. I like that. Davis against the Lions, who are the worst defense giving up against running backs for fantasy points. He's got Jacobs against the Chiefs. Jacobs had 22.5 points last time, and Carr had almost 28 points last time against the Chiefs. So it's going to be interesting if they can match that again. I think it might be a little hard. I think the Chiefs will be pumped up for this game. For the Wampus Cats, like we touched on Murray versus Seattle, that D's terrible. Hopkins should score a ton. Herbert's got the Jets. And the Jets they're in the bottom 5 against fantasy quarterbacks. Connor against the Jags. I like that. Defense-wise, when you look at these two teams, you got the Methadones have the edge in linebackers, where I think the Wampus Cats had the edge for defensive backs. I've been going back and forth all day on this one. ESPN has the Wampus Cats like an 18-point favorite. I'm going to say I'm going to have to agree with them. I think the Wampus Cats get the win this week. Oh, whoa. So apparently they didn't like my prediction.
Yeah, dogs aren't happy with that.
Oh.
I mean, they're dogs. They're cats.
It would have been better if it was.
Oh, okay. I got it.
I wish it would have been dog down build runs during I was calling them.
Big. Well, honestly, I mean, I don't really need to say much. I don't think now, since you kind of covered everybody or both players and all the players on both teams. So
sorry.
That's okay. That's usually what I do. That's what I usually do. I was looking at the news, and it looks like as of now, Lockett is expected to play. He's still questionable, but he should play. With that being said, I still think I like the combination of Murray and Hopkins quite a bit more than Wilson and Lockett this week. I also like James Conner against Jacksonville. That should be a good matchup. Devontae Adams against the Colts. I know the Colts have a really good defense, but I still just don't think many teams can stop Rodgers to Adams. So he should have a pretty big week. Justin Herbert against the Jets. I mean, he should put up some numbers there. I don't know if it's going to be as close as the spread shows. I think the Wampus Cats are going to get the win here pretty easily.
Ooh, take that, Matt.
Okay, so what I usually do when I'm looking at sports and any type of NFL momentum is I do the opposite of what just happened. So Seahawks just got embarrassed. The Cardinals won on a very improbable play. So I actually like, especially with Patrick Peterson, is going to be on DK Metcalf. I think Lockett will be able to make quite a few plays. Kamara's going to eat Atlanta alive. I think Davis is going to bounce back from his rough game last week. And I think Carr and Jacobs will have to be a key part. If say the Raiders do get blown out by the Chiefs, that's going to be their time to shine, especially Carr. And I think I like having the linebacker advantage over having the DB advantage. So with all that said, he's got huge exposure. The Wampus Cats do on Thursday night, 3 of his starters. So a third of his offensive starters will be in this game. So if the Seahawks can come back and play better D, I know it's terrible. They've been historically awful. I don't know. So I am going to actually go with the Methadones to get the upset win spread-wise and then really jumble up this playoff race. I am voting for chaos. All right.
Chaos is always good.
It's going to be chaos regardless of
Chaos
it.
is a ladder. All right. So clear the stage. It's that week.
Woo!
It
All right.
is.
I think Phil should go first on this.
Yes, he
I
is
was-
going to go first.
well,
The
I was
best
gonna
known.
say-
What?
I was going to say, why don't you guys make your case for which team I should pick?
Oh, that's true. That's good. I like that.
Fine. I don't care.
Because you're going to pick each other, right? I mean, you're going
It
to pick your
is.
team.
It is the Elkview River Rats. It tells all the time. There's Duke UNC. There's the Yankees and the Red Sox. And there is the River Rats and the Mega Powers.
Well, I mean, it's like down here. It's not close. but
It's
like,
more so, I will say.
I like it.
Go ahead, Detroit. You go first since you're the away team.
Oh, okay. So it's on the away team. All right. You know me. I'm Mr. Fair and Balanced when I do these. I'm not prejudiced. You know, I'm not a partisan hack like our host here. We have. I don't like Rodgers against the Colts. Colts D's been pretty good, but it's still Rodgers, so he should probably throw a couple touchdowns. Carson's coming back. I think that's going to be key for me. I think that's key for Seattle. I
Not
think we
coming
need-
back.
What?
He's out.
Says who?
Says, I think Schefter.
Oh, you're
When
full
was
of
that?
lies.
I'm
when was
not.
that update, though?
It is. Go ahead. Keep talking about the rest of your team. I'm going to come in with some
No, he's
beautiful-
questionable now. I think.
Even though Seahawks wide receiver is listed as questionable for Thursday's game, Tyler Lockett will play. Seahawks running back Chris Carson is also listed as questionable, but he is unlikely to play.
Oh, well, it says here he practiced and looked good and all the stuff he did, Pete Carroll added. So we're real
Until
close
he
with
saw he
Chris.
played for Elkview. I said, screw this
Yeah.
noise.
Anyways,
Not
it
in this
don't
game.
matter if Carson plays or doesn't play, all right? Anyways, I got Nick Chubb going against the Eagles. He'll score easily. I love my Steelers. Juju. And
He's wavering, Phil. He's walking back. The Carson news hit him.
No, it didn't.
Well,
Juju and Chase Claypool.
Juju. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh,
Sorry. Go ahead.
gosh, we got a comedian in here. Anyways, going against the Jags, it's gonna be a bloodbath. Kelsey against the Raiders, you know he's gonna score a ton. I like Metcalf against Arizona. I don't care who's going up against him this week. He's gonna come back. He's gonna score some points. I love my defense compared to your defense. Your defense is garbage. It's like you actually have the Atlanta Falcons defense. You got Watson against the Patriots. Something tells me this game would come down to Gurley. Her game would be close, and it comes down to Gurley getting a cheap touchdown or something. But anyways, the Saints are, though, the second best against running backs, so that's not a good matchup. I do love Gibson against the Bengals for you. That's a good one. But like I said, your defense is terrible, so I'm obviously picking maybe the most underrated team in this league, the Elkview River Rats, by 30 points.
Look here. It's very simple to make my case. Your matchups are god-awful. Rodgers against the Colts. That Colts defense is tough. The Eagles' run defense is actually really good against Nick Chubb. Baltimore, Corey Davis is going to be a no-show. Now, the key for your game is the Jacksonville Jaguars holding off the Pittsburgh Steelers passing attack. I'm going to need a lot of James Washington. I'm going to need a lot of Deontay Johnson. I think Lamar is what he is. Metcalf is going to have Peterson. That's going to be terrible for him. Your matchups are god awful. Kelsey against Vegas. That's your only shining star. Bill Belichick has problems with mobile quarterbacks. Deshaun Watson is going to have a day. Todd Gurley, Mr. Consistent, just plowing 2 yards at a time. Antonio Gibson is going to eat the Bengals alive. Jerry Jeudy, Lazard comes back. Brandon Cooks has been playing awfully well. Will Marvin Jones be the one that does it to you? Your very own line player.
I know. Look
and I
out
got
for Andy
cuffs.
Dalton.
I got a lot of cuffs, man. You have Aaron Rodgers. I have Lazard. You have Lamar Jackson. I have Mark Andrews. I'm telling you, the writing is on the wall. Calvin Ridley comes back. He's going to be fresh. My defense has been struggling, but we have the heart of a champion, something you can't say in Elkview. Therefore, I am going with the Montrose Mega Powers to dig down deep and get the victory. Take it away, Phil.
Okay, well, I mean, I was with you until the Heart of the Champion thing.
You wouldn't know anything about that either, Phil. Only one championship on this podcast.
Okay, how long has it been now? When's the last time?
4 years.
Okay, yeah. So that was a long time ago in our league. I like how you went on the offensive when Detroit was kind of rattled with Chris Carson there. You kind of stepped into attack his argument there. But also when you were mentioning the Steelers for him, Smith-Schuster and Claypool, I think they could both have a really big game because the Jaguars probably aren't going to be able to stop the Steelers. But then also I think I liked when Detroit mentioned Todd Gurley could play a role in this. I think Destiny is going to make that happen. I think Todd Gurley will play a role in this. But I think he's going to get hurt and fumble the ball, and that is what is going to make the difference.
This type of prediction.
I love it. What a turn.
I think the fumble.
Injuries?
I think the fumble is going to make this a stat correction game, and the River Rats are going to come out on top.
What a heel
Phil
turn,
just
man.
doing like the
Nice.
movie script now.
Thanks, Phil.
All right. Hey, there may be a special vid coming for this week. We'll see.
A special what?
Special video coming this week. Possibly something
boy.
in the works. We'll see. We will see. We will see. All right, that's it for the week 11 predictions. Detroit, give us our records from last week, from everything.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
So me and Phil both went 5-1. Brett, you and Matt went 4-2. So on the season, let me see here. Phil is 47-13. Brett, you're in second with 45-15, and I am last at 40-20.
Right.
Our locks of the week.
So bad.
We all lost except for Matt.
He's
Phil,
2-0. He would like to the world to know.
Matt is 2-0. Phil, you went with the over 55.5 in the Rams Seahawks. That did not happen. I went with the over 42 in the Patriots game, and it did not happen. And Brett, you took the Titans. You got that ugly loss right off the bat, like you said. Me and Phil are both 5-5 in our lock of the weeks, and Brett, you are 3-7.
Should we start including a disclaimer that we're not responsible for the losses?
Well, if anybody's betting on our picks, then they're
Exactly.
idiots.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
For some reason, I wish we could go back and look, but I think I'll win one week and then I lose the next. It's been like that all season. So, anyways, for my pick this week, I don't like picking for or against my team, the Lions, but I don't expect the Lions to win 2 in a row. So I'm going to take Carolina minus a 1.5.
I almost went
Yeah,
there.
Brett, you suck.
Phil, tell the people how they can get a hold of us and give us your luck of the week.
All right, my lock of the week this week. I'm going to go with the Cleveland Browns at home against the Eagles. They're giving 3.5. I don't think the Cleveland Browns are as good as their 6-3 record, but I also think the Eagles are worse than their 3-5-1 record. So I think the Browns are going to cover the 3.5 here.
I almost went that game.
Yeah, it almost feels like it's too easy, to be honest, but I don't know. Maybe it's not. Of course, I'm going to lose, obviously, so it's probably not too easy. As always, they can call or text the show at 901-KDFL or 901-609-KDFL. Sorry, I didn't write it down this week. So
Thanks, Hulk, for calling in or texting us.
Yeah. Hulk, I'm assuming Hogan, but who knows?
Yeah, could be.
Could be another
green
Hulk
guy.
out there. Yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that. They can follow the show on Twitter at KDFL Podcast. They can follow Brett at BrettStill2. They can follow Detroit at Detroit8374, and they can follow me at Phil Bruxy.
For my luck of the week, I am going to ride the Tua train. Dolphins minus 3.5. I think we could see Brett ripping for the Broncos. I know luck is week to week. So, God have mercy on the Dolphins this week. So, for Jonathan Detroit Haynes, for Mr. Phil Bruxy, I'm Brett Steele, and we will see you next week with a mega power victory on the KDFL Fantasy Football Podcast. Bye bye.